Hey guys, Brennan here. Merry Christmas and all that stuff. I have got something a little bit special for you guys. I had wrote this in preparation for Christmas. I wrote a little bit of it on a YouTube stream, and I'm going to be reading this today. It's a Splatoon fanfiction themed around Christmas and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm just going to be reading this off, and it's going to be a good time. Okay, so we got it pulled up, and here we go. So, what are you guys planning on doing for Inkmas? I don't currently have anything planned, so if you want to get together, just say the word, Coda said, leaning back in his chair a bit. Well, last time we got together for a holiday, it was kinda a disaster. If I recall correctly, you broke my living room table, Evelyn responded, sighing. The table attacked him, sis. What was he supposed to do? Not punch its lights out? Derek shot back, weirdly serious. What? What the hell are you talking about? He was attacked by the table. I remember. He fell on top of it, and it shattered. And then he whipped around all cool, threw his fists up, and said, "It attacked me!" So he was clearly in danger. Derek doubled down, his voice completely deadpan. I misread that then. Oh well. Moving on. Yep, totally attacked me. I was frightened for my life. Coda joined in, not sure if Derek's suggestion was a joke or not. Well, you guys' nonsense aside, are we actually gonna get together for Inkmas or not? If so, I kinda need to know because I'm inevitably going to be the one putting it all together. Evelyn sighed, brushing off her brother's craziness. No need to worry about it, sis. I'll host. We can have a get-together at my place, Derek said, smirking. Okay then, Evelyn said, knowing in her mind that she would have to make a lot of food to bring at the very least, because Derek would very likely not prepare anything, and just say, "There's stuff in the fridge, help yourself." Only for someone to open his refrigerator and see that there is nothing in there except for a single egg, or worse, a billion sprinklers. For some reason. So, I guess we'll meet at your place, Derek. I'll let my brother know so that we can invite his team, Ritsuko agreed, getting up from the table. Well, since I now have Inkmas plans, I'm going to actually need to buy some gifts, Ritsuko added as she said her goodbyes and went off on her own. Later in the day, Hajime got a text about the Inkmas plans from Ritsuko and let everyone else on his team know about the get-together. So, Derek's hosting. That's odd at best. He never offers to do that sort of thing. I feel like he might have some sort of ulterior motive, but I guess I'll be there. Here's hoping it doesn't turn out to be some chaotic series of events put on by Derek and Coda. Those guys are just a bit much sometimes. Well, yeah, but they're fun, Hajime said, smiling widely. Kinda sucks that this is the first Inkmas that we're not going to all be together, though, Hajime said, a bit melancholic. I kind of want to just comment on the fact that I don't like the amount of times that I've used the word said, and that is something that I'd probably change if I were to go back and make edits to this. But oh well. This is just a thing that I wanted to do. Short amount of time for Christmas. This isn't a serious project or anything, so oh well. Sorry, guys. You don't get quality here. Anyway. Oh yeah. Verity's still back in Inkopolis, huh? Persephone said, gently placing a hand on Hajime's shoulder. Don't worry about that. I'm sure you could let her know. See if she can make it. We could even offer to pay for the train as a team or something. Yeah, but I don't want to pull her away from her family either, Hajime responded. Well, it wouldn't hurt to ask anyway. Maybe she'll want to get away from her family for a bit. Yeah, maybe. I guess I'll ask her. What are you guys talking about? Fern asked as she entered the locker room, walking up to them. Just holiday plans. Derek's having a get-together and we're invited. He probably wouldn't mind if we extended that invitation to you as well, Fern. He invited our team and, well, you're not an official member, but you're basically part of the team. Okay, I'll let Cedar know too. I've never really spent a holiday with friends. It was usually just me, my dad, and my mom. Plus, this is Slice's first Inkmas, so he's probably super excited, aren't you, Slice? She added as she turned to her small fry, who just blankly stared back at her, gazing into her soul, reading her thoughts, peering at her very being, absorbing the knowledge of the ancients, being a mere vessel for the elder gods of chaos who still slumber yet, awaiting the day the Samanids take the earth from the clutches of their cephalopod oppressors and call upon them to destroy everything cephalopod kind holds dear. Or alternatively, he just wasn't giving a reaction at the moment, as his attention was elsewhere. He's just a little buddy after all. Either way, Fern carried on with what she was doing, getting her things from her locker before she said her goodbyes to the group and headed home. Upon arriving at home, Fern set Slice up with some food and started to get ready for bed, despite it not being that late. As she was brushing her teeth, Cedar arrived at home, laughing to himself about something as he walked past the bathroom door. Fern popped her head around the corner to greet him, toothbrush in her mouth. "Hey, Cedar," she said, her words a little muffled and distorted due to the object in her mouth. "Oh, hi. Guess you beat me home. You don't really play matches at the battle lobby until much later," Cedar responded as he turned toward her. Fern then finished brushing her teeth and left the bathroom before continuing the conversation with, "Yeah, I was getting destroyed today, so I just called it quits. We got invited to spend Inkmas with your friends at Derek's place, by the way. I'm likely gonna go, but if you don't feel like going, I might not. Kinda awkward when I really only know like half of them." "Oh, cool," Cedar replied, seeming a bit conflicted. "Something up? Oh, you probably want to spend time with your boyfriend, huh? You two have really been reconnecting lately, huh?" Fern teased, poking him in the side. I guess so? I don't know, but yeah, I wanted to spend the holidays with Nevio. I really don't know if he's going to want to hang around all my friends. I would think he just wants to have it be me and him." "Well, you should ask if he wants to go with us first, at least, Cedar." "Okay, I will. Call him," Fern insisted. I can just ask him later. Why do you want me to call him?" You two are cute together, that's why. Just call him, silly." "Fine, I'll call him, but now I hope he says no, since you're being weird about us," Cedar said, pulling out his phone and ringing Nevio's number. Nevio answered after the second ring or so, starting with, "Hey, Cedar, what's up? I wasn't really expecting you to call since you just left my place like 10 minutes ago. Did something happen?" That's not his voice. Whatever, I'll correct his voice going forward. No, it's nothing really. My sister is basically forcing me to ask you this. That's all. My friends are having an Inkmas party or something, and they invited me, so do you want to go with me, or... "Yeah, I'll go. Your friends seem nice enough. I mean, I kinda owe them a bit, too. I wouldn't have given you another shot if it weren't for them, so yeah, I'll definitely be there. You'll just have to come pick me up." That's closer. Not exact to what I had given him in a different setting, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. "Okay, yeah, I'll pick you up for it. I mean, it's not for a few days still, but yeah." "Alright, bye, Bucket Boy. I love you," Nevio said with a smirk. Bye. Love you too. Cedar replied, blushing a bit as he hung up. He then refocused his attention on Fern, who was standing there with a stupid grin on her face. Gay, she teased, jabbing him in the ribs. Ow, why do you always have to mess with me? It's fun. Also, you make it really easy, Fern said, turning toward her room. Anyway, I'm gonna hit the head for tonight, so, night, bro. It's like 7. But okay. Night, Fern. Fern then turned in for the night. The plan for the get-together now set, and every person who would be attending now clued in about it. The group of friends spent the next few days getting gifts for others and doing what they could to prepare for the event, some people doing more than others. Slowly but surely, the days until Inkmas started to tick down. This year was not as high-key as previous years, as there were no big events being held, at least not in Splatsville, but that made it perfect for many Inklings, Octolings, and whatever other species that might want to hold their own small and intimate gatherings amongst their friends, just like our cast of characters are doing this holiday season. Anyway, as the day had finally arrived, Derek was finishing up his final bit of preparations for the event, unlocking his front door so that it would be open for guests when they should arrive, so he didn't need to get up after sitting down to greet people at the door. A truly noble host, he needn't bother himself with that sort of business, as he would just allow his guests the freedom of letting themselves in. You're saying that's lazy? Absolutely not. Well, I'm not going to argue this. Agree to disagree, I say. Meanwhile, Evelyn had come over to her brother's early to make all sorts of actual preparations for the event, like making sure there was enough seating for everyone who would be coming, doing some last-minute cleaning, and making sure that there was indeed enough food so that no one would go hungry. Derek helped a bit while the cleaning was going on by pointing out things that Evelyn had missed until, of course, she snapped at him and told him that if he wanted to help, he could clean too. Can you believe the nerve? He was graciously letting her know that she missed a spot, and she got mad. Outrageous! So anyway, Derek decided it best to get out of her way and relax on the couch instead. Eventually, it came time for the guests to start arriving, Evelyn just having finished up the last of the cooking, setting stuff out on the living room tables so that people could snack on stuff. Derek had let everyone who was coming know that it was okay to just let themselves in ahead of time, so that they did. Coda was the first among the guests to arrive, which wasn't surprising as he did just live around the corner from Derek's place. He let himself in, setting down the big bag of gifts he brought with him, and settled in on the couch next to Derek. So, when are other people supposed to show up? I got a lot of stuff that I think they're gonna like, he added, smirking mischievously. Any minute now, I guess. This is the time I told people to start getting here, so... Derek answered. This isn't like a huge organized thing, though, so we're probably just gonna chill or whatever. Saying it's not organized is a complete understatement. You didn't do any planning at all. You're lucky I came over to help out. You probably wouldn't have had so much as a bowl of chips out if I didn't. Evelyn scoffed, finally taking a seat for the first time in a few hours. Immediately as she did, however, the doorbell rang, so she got right back up and went to go answer the door. Oh, hey, Cedar, Fern, come on in and take a seat. Evelyn greeted as she opened the door, smiling at her friends as she noticed an unfamiliar face standing to the side of Cedar. I'm sorry. I don't believe we've met. I'm Evelyn, and you are... Oh, Nevio. My name's Nevio. It's Italian. That's historical then, yeah? Like, from Italy, that human place, right? Yeah, I'm surprised you knew that. Usually when I say that, I have to explain it, Nevio said, a bit shocked. Well, anyway, come inside. Evelyn said, stepping aside and letting the three of them in. The next few minutes were about the same as more people arrived, either letting themselves in as Derek said to, or waiting for someone to answer the door. Nevio ended up having to introduce himself to nearly everyone who walked through the door because he had only met about 4 or so people before coming here. After everyone had arrived, the group talked for a while, settling in and enjoying the appetizer dishes Evelyn had made until moving on to the gift exchange. "Let's open the gifts now, shall we?" Coda said, standing up. I really want everyone to see what I got for them." "Sure, why not?" Derek shrugged. Verity's not here yet, so maybe we should wait for her." Hajime hesitated, not wanting to be rude to Verity. "Well, she is coming all the way from Ingopolis. She also said she'd be late, so I think it's okay to start handing stuff out. She can open her gifts when she gets here." "Oh, you're right, Hajime. We absolutely cannot start without Verity!" Coda exclaimed. "And since we can't open gifts, how about we all play a little game?" "Oh? Sure," Derek responded, not sure what Coda was doing. "Okay, so the game goes like this." Coda smirked as he sleight-of-handed a splat roller from behind his back. "Run!" he shouted as he swung down and instantly splatted Derek. That doesn't seem like a game," Hajime protested as he backed away, cornering himself as the rest of the people in the room scattered, finding places to hide. "Of course it's a game! You guys will respawn anyway!" Coda laughed as he smashed Hajime into the wall with the front of his roller, crushing him instantly. This game went on for several minutes as Coda systematically cleared the house room by room, looking for victims, players, to splat. Once the game was finished, everyone was understandably upset with Coda, and most of the house was absolutely covered in ink. As the game was finishing, though, Verity walked through the door, having finally arrived. She looked around, really confused as to why there was ink everywhere, even dripping from the ceiling in a few places. Guys, I'm here," she called out into the house. No response. Then a scream. "Guys, you're freaking me out! What's going on?" She then saw ripples in the ink beside her, moving toward her quickly. She backed up into the door she had shut behind herself as she was reaching for the doorknob. She was splatted. She simply respawned at the home's respawn point in the bedroom upstairs, where everyone else except Coda now was. "Oh, hey guys. What's going on? That frickin' hurt." Everyone in the room looked at each other for a moment before responding in unison. "Coda." "Oh. Gotcha. So did he do anything else yet? What did I miss?" Verity asked with a smile. "No, you really didn't miss anything," Hajime answered. "Well, I think that ends this little game of Coda's, so let's head back downstairs. We've got gifts to open." They then filed down the stairs, Persephone casually pulling her E-liter out and charging a shot at the top of the stairs, waiting for Coda to pop up again, instantly taking him out. "Game's over, Squid Kid," she stated calmly, blowing the end of her E-liter's barrel. The group then gathered in the living room, which was now mostly covered in blue ink. Derek then hit a switch on the wall to activate the house's ink cleanup mode, instantly clearing out all of the ink throughout the house. "Alright guys, I absolutely want you all to open your gifts from me first," Coda said with a smirk. "It better not just be a bomb that explodes when we open the box," Ritsuko said, giving him a glare. "No, I would never," he shot back, putting on the puppy dog eyes. "I can't believe you think I would do such a thing." "Oh, but it's important that you all open them at the same time, so it's extra special," he added, his tone shifting immediately once he was done with his innocent act. That's not suspicious at all, Evelyn said, sighing. Coda then handed out the gifts to everyone, making sure that no one started to open their gifts until they were all handed out. Once they were, everyone opened their gifts, a huge explosion of ink instantly splatting everyone in the room, but Coda. Exactly as expected, they were indeed just bombs in boxes that exploded once they were opened. Hey, I'm not anything if I'm not consistent, Coda said, looking up into the corner of the room and giving a wink to the audience. Everyone then came back downstairs, Derek once again clearing the house of ink. So, let's all agree to never open anything from Coda ever again. Like we all knew that was definitely going to be a bomb, so I don't even know why we bothered to begin with. Fixed. Derek said as he took a seat. I didn't proofread this, that's my bad. Anyway, now that all this nonsense is over, let's open some actual gifts. Evelyn sighed. You guys didn't even see what I actually got you, Coda complained. I didn't put just a bomb in those boxes. It was a prank and a gift. So, check them again. Is this a squid stitch cap? Derek asked, looking in the box. Yep, got one for all of you. You can match me now, Coda smiled, seeming to be genuine for once in this moment. Well, anyway, next, let's open my gifts, I guess, Derek said as he handed out the gifts to everyone. They opened their gifts, receiving pieces of gear that Derek thought matched their style, and a small sprinkler as well. Wow, thanks, Derek. I didn't expect much from you, but this is actually cool. I don't exactly need the sprinkler, but the gear is definitely nice, Ritsuko thanked him. Nonsense! Everyone needs a sprinkler. You just haven't found the best way to use it yet. Derek politely disagreed, knowing that the correct usage for the sprinkler was to obsess over it to the point where it takes on a personality of its own and becomes something like a child to you. The group then continued to pass out their gifts, opening all of the things that everyone got for each other. After the gift exchange, they all went into the dining room to eat the holiday meal that Evelyn had prepared, everyone being fairly impressed with how much she was able to pull off on her own, and giving their compliments to her cooking ability. Once everyone had enough to eat, they all got up from the table and split off into smaller groups. Some people helping Evelyn and Derek clean up in the kitchen, some going back into the living room, and some just hanging around other areas of the house. Hajime had gone off on his own, going over his plan in his mind, knowing that it was probably going to be a long while until he saw Verity in person again. He knew he had to tell her tonight, because he didn't want to waste the opportunity of letting her know how he felt. So he mustered all of his courage, and then pulled Verity aside, fidgeting a bit as he told her. Verity, I like you. Oh, okay. That's what this is about, huh? Well, I like you too, Hajime. Probably not the same way you mean that, though, Verity said, sighing. You're such a good friend, and I always saw you as like a brother or something, and I absolutely don't mind that you have feelings for me. I promise it's not going to make things awkward at all. I'm just not into guys like that. I've only ever felt romantic feelings toward girls, and they've always been nebulous at best. I don't even know if I experience attraction the same way some others do. And, I'm sorry, I'm just talking your ear off, huh? Oh, no, it's fine. I don't want things to be awkward between us or anything either. I also sort of figured that out. I've known you long enough to know that you weren't exactly looking for a guy, so it was probably stupid for me to ask in the first place. But there was just something about being away from you that made me realize exactly how I cared about you, so I felt like I had to get that off my chest while you were here. So yeah, sorry. Hajime muttered, blushing as he looked toward the floor. Well, it's nice to know that you care about me at the very least. Sorry that I can't exactly return the feeling, Verity said, trying to ease some of the tension in the air as she gently hugged him. I do care about you too, though, so don't be destroying yourself over this or anything, okay? Yeah. Merry Inkmas. Merry Inkmas, Hajime. Meanwhile, the people doing cleanup in the kitchen had just about finished up and were having a conversation about some differences between Inkmas celebrations as a kid. So, you guys never got told the tale of the Kraken? Persephone asked. No, never. That's honestly terrifying. The idea that some giant squid is going to yank you out of your beds at night and drag you into the sea for misbehaving is something that definitely would have given me nightmares as a kid. So what did you get told then? Hades asked. Well, we were told that every year Captain Inkulus would come and give good kids all the gifts that they would want, while the bad kids would have their ink tanks filled up with deep black octopus ink, Derek shared. What? No story of abject terror at all. Dang, you had it really easy, Hades responded, shocked. We sorta had a Captain Inkulus character too, but he would only come to the kids who hadn't been dragged away by the Kraken, and he was called Sandy Claus. He was usually depicted as a jolly sort of lobster, but I've also met people who said that Sandy Claus is a crab. Hard to say since no one's ever seen him in person, but he's totally real, Persephone explained. Captain Inkulus is definitely real too, Derek chimed in. I even saw him as a kid once. I was up late one Squidmas Eve and I saw Captain Inkulus. He was this real old inkling guy wearing the classic red suit, red hat, and everything. He had a long white beard too. He was pouring the octopus ink in my ink tank, so I obviously knew that it had to be the real guy. I think that was probably just your dad or some other family member in a costume. No, it was definitely Captain Inkulus. I bet my life on it, Derek affirmed, weirdly serious. That's exactly how I feel about Sandy Claus. He's definitely out there. Whether he's a crab, a lobster, or some other crustacean entirely, he's out there. Persephone nodded in solidarity. Out in the living room, Cedar, Nevio, Fern, Coda, and Ritsuko were sitting on the couches, discussing how Nevio and Cedar came to meet. Cedar explained how they had met from a turf war match, became friends years ago, and all about how they had a falling out due to the team that Cedar had ended up joining. He also said that all of that was behind them now and talked about the role Fern played in helping them work out some of their past issues. Yeah, if it wasn't for Fern, we definitely wouldn't be talking right now, let alone actually dating, Nevio agreed, flushing a bit. Well, anyway, how'd you meet Coda, Ritsuko? You two are kind of a couple, yeah? Fern asked, leaning in. What? Me and Ritsu? Ew, absolutely not, Coda reacted. Yeah, we're not a couple. Likely won't ever be one either. What gave you that impression? Ritsuko asked, raising an eyebrow. Well, just the way that his antics always seem to push your buttons more than anyone else. The fact that you always berate him, and how you two are nearly always together. It's like an old married couple or something, Fern shrugged. I think that's a shaky foundation at best. All that you really have there is that he annoys me, and I get mad at him a lot. And we're together a lot because we're on a team together. You're reading way too much into it. Uh-huh. Fern winked, smirking a bit. Oh no! It's getting late! Derek suddenly screamed from the kitchen, pushing everyone in the kitchen toward the door. What the heck? Hades exclaimed, getting shoved to the floor. Out! Everyone out! Captain Inculus won't come if I'm not asleep within the next hour, so you all need to leave! Derek shouted, suddenly manic. And with that, the little Inkmas gathering had come to an end. Derek forcibly sending everyone home, even so much as physically shoving people out the door. The next morning, Derek went downstairs to find his ink tank filled with black ink, with a little note attached that read, "Maybe don't shove people. Try better next year. Inculus." The end. That's the conclusion to our little story here. I wrote this in maybe like, I want to say like maybe like 6 hours total work or something. I could have probably done much better if I, managed my time well, and because I started writing like 2 weeks before Christmas. I could have done a lot better if I managed my time and spent more time actually working on this. But you know what? I just wanted to get it done, and I did. I got it to a point where it's a little finished story, and that's all right. And a lot of the character interactions and stuff, or character relationships and stuff, it's not super in depth because this is a spin-off fan fiction of a larger fan fiction that explores more of the character relationships and stuff. So it sort of just drops you in with all these characters because they're just my OCs or whatever. That's what they are, really. They're my Splatoon OCs. And yeah, and thank you to my sister at Jolty Thunders for that's on Twitter, for drawing that little cedar with a Santa hat. That's my Splatoon character Cedar. Yeah. I'm gonna go, so hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and all that. This was just a little video of me recording a fanfiction, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. Let me know in the comments about your OCs or whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's PG rated. You can leave it in the comments down below. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Merry Christmas, guys. I'll see you whenever I'm doing a thing again. Bye for now. Peace out.